Perry Pencil.
Hello and welcome to Perry Pencil. This is a continuation video of the Real Ghostbusters, the feature animated series, very popular during the 80s. So I've been doing the 80s lineup. So I've done Egon already at the request of my son Patrick, and now I'm going to be moving on to Peter Venkman from the Real Ghostbusters. Let's get started. As always, I always say come down a little bit from the top of the page so you don't cut your character's head off or whatever you're putting on the drawing on the page there. And I always say divide the page in half from right to left. This is going to be a vertical drawing, and it's going to be about waist high. And so here we go. So the first thing I want to do is start off with a nice size oval here, like this. Just get your pencil and keep going around the circle until you really get that in there. And then off of that, this is a very simplistic animated drawing style. You do have to do some anatomical drawing so it looks correct to a certain extent. But when you're doing animation, it can be a little exaggerated. So put a little oval right underneath that head there. So these are the two things we're concentrating on right now. Right now we're doing structural drawing or anatomical drawing. For those that are really trying to get into animation or comic book illustration, I'm your man. Alright, so the left shoulder is forward, so we're going to put Peter Venkman's shoulder here, right? We're going to keep this simple. Have a line that comes down like this, and, you know, matter of fact, let me rephrase, let's scratch that, bring the arm down like this, and then over, because this is going to be the arm that's holding the Proton gun there. And then of course for later, well, I'm stepping ahead of myself. Not to confuse you, let's go ahead and put his torso in. So torso is usually two heads to a torso, so we're gonna do one. Alright. Then what you like to do is take the index finger, you thumb, mark it, and then go slide down here and then go to 2 right there. So your waist will come in about there, which is about right. So you're not going to see his chest because his back is towards you because he's ready to gear up the proton pack and fire the proton gun. So this is about where you want your torso to be. So when you measure it correct, you'll know the torso is 2 heads to the body. So let's do that so I can divide that in half so you can see that. I'm hitting this here, 1 and 2, right here. All right. So we're gonna put the elbow here so that you can see where I'm going with it. You know, the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. Okay. Now, because he has a proton backpack on, what I'd like to do is go ahead and put a box in here so we know later on where we want to put the proton pack. So let's go ahead and put a rectangular shape here. If you notice what I'm doing, very loosely dropping in a rectangular shape. It's not anything complicated, nothing to stress. Just simple shapes, really simple shapes. I'm being honest here as possible. And then you want the other line to come down like this and then over like that. This is an elongated rectangular shape. That's all that is. Do the same thing here. We're creating a box. Just think of it as a UPS box or FedEx box being dropped off. Boom, like that. And then of course the proton pack has this circular thing on the back here, which we'll get into that detail later. Alright, so now I'll probably cut it off here. Let's see, because the after this is not important. We're done with from the head to the waist. Alright. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get my number 9 lead pencil or mechanical pencil. That's what I'm using here. If you would like to know that, very cheap, simple Bic there. You can get from Walmart or any other place. All right, so now let's go ahead and deal with Peter Venkman's head. Now for his head, what you want to do is he's looking over his shoulders. So let's put a line here like this way, right? So for this, we want to concentrate on what he looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the outside of his head here and get the shape of his head. So he kind of has like the forehead that comes out like that one line. Now notice where I have the line here. You want to just bring that line into that and then go out away from that at the bottom of that. It's gonna be outside of the shape of his face. All right, so from here, you're gonna come all the way down to where his chin would be. And just the way I'm drawing this exaggerated is just how I want you to do it. Those of you who are following me on this tutorial step by step. And then for the bottom portion of his jaw, you want to come over like this and just drop that down. Peter Venkman has a square jaw, very square. All right, now let's deal with his features a little bit. He has a surprised look, so let's go ahead and start from the edge of the face here. and bringing the eyebrow line up like this. Just simple. And then do the same thing for his left eye. Always measure it by the center of this line. That's what we go by. That's how we keep things looking normal. And then bring that down like that. Real simple. Not trying to, be super impressive, just trying to learn. And then come off the center line here with his nose and come down like this. Alright. And the nose usually tries to come over a little bit to the cheek. So let's go ahead and drop that in and come over. And Peter Venkman's nose comes out to a point almost and then drops back in towards the center line like that. I'm gonna clean his bridge of his nose up so it doesn't look too muddy. And he has a very, very small nostril here. You can loop it to get a little opening. And then just simply put the outside of his nostril in, just like this. Alright. Now for his eyes kind of go up like this, come down. Just think of a hill. We're dealing with simple shapes today. Do the same thing for his left eye. Well, let me just say this. For his right eye, rather, sorry about that, it comes in closer to the bridge of the nose. I want to put that out there so that when you're drawing in the future, when you're doing 3/4 views, this is a 3/4 view drawing, just to let you know. This eye is going to be further away from the bridge of the nose than this eye over here. This eye is going to be closer to the bridge of the nose because it's hiding behind the nose. Now he's looking upward just like Egon was when I did the illustration. The point is to be able to get these going, and then at some point you guys can match all the drawings up, which I'll probably do later on, and just take a picture of it and show you what it looks like with all the Ghostbusters standing together. Because this is a joint drawing that I separated just for the sake of the tutorials of each Ghostbuster. I love this pose, these poses that they're in, so I'm doing them all separate and I'll put them together later. Alright, so for his mouth, you want to go like this, and his mouth is very simple. He's actually smiling. It would just like to note that Peter Venkman is the humorous or clown part of the Ghostbusters. He's the immature one, if you will. Ray is a little bit more immature than he is, but Peter Venkman has his stuff too. I like both of them, but Venkman's more of the arrogant jokester, if you will. Ray's more like the kid jokester. He relates to the kids more. So put a line up under here like this. And for the upper lip, excuse me, I want to curve that just a little bit more. I don't want to take away from his attributes in the cartoon. So it curves just a little bit like that. There we go. And never be afraid if the drawing kind of looks a little rough or murky, because at the end you can always go back and clean it up like I do on every video. So we're going to concentrate on his ear now. So we're working in reverse from the bottom up. The jaw, the ear is always off the eye and nose line. That's kind of like the basic structure every artist should know. It's just so that you don't have to think too hard in the process of drawing. So let's drop that ear. And if you notice, I came around with an angular drawing. Excuse me, an angular shape there. Bring the ear around and just drop this in like this, the animation style. And usually off the ear, you'll have the neck. Next, of course, his neck's gonna drop down to the Ghostbusters outfit he wears, and then of course the line that they have that comes off like that. All right. So now we're gonna deal with his hair. Venkman has the hair that stands out like Egon almost does, just that Egon's hair is blonde and Peter Venkman's hair is brunette. So if you notice, I put a line right there. So let's draw this hairline. So we're gonna come around like this. And we're gonna come into his ear. That's kind of the way they have it set up. Right? So that line is there, so we know. So off the back of, he has a mullet. So this is the 80s, guys. So mullet is like that hair, like a lion's mane. And then it just kind of goes wild, and it's a lot of hair, basically. It was popular in the 80s. And let's go ahead and bring his hair around to his shoulder. Kind of comes out a little bit and goes into his neck. Alright, so So we're gonna come back up top. Now let's get some hair on top of his hair. It almost looks like he's balding, but we're gonna give him that wig piece there. Let's dress his head up and whatnot so he can have hair. So off the center line, we're gonna bring this piece up. Now watch this. Watch how quickly we give Peter Venkman his attributes to what he looks like. So that's the one piece there. That's a lock of hair. Then you have another one, right? And this one's kind of like Egon, swoops around in this fashion. So if you follow the shapes I'm doing right now, you will have him down pat, I promise you. So at this point right here, we're going to come up under. We're going to stop right there. And then the rest of the hairline actually creeps back in here like this. So you can do that lightly because the other part of it is going to come in here and continue. And it's going to swoop around over. And it creates a bang that goes right over his eyebrows there. See? So this is where you can meet this up, the bang, if you will. Almost kind of make you go, wow, though. In the 80s, they had a lot of interesting hairstyles to work with, artists did. Anyway, I remember looking at the comic books and stuff like that, and they would have all kinds of hairstyles, and I'd be like, man, it takes forever to draw this hair. But it was also a challenge too, and it challenged your skills. Now that we have that established, as you can see, we have Peter Venkman's famous hairstyle. Now off of that, we're going to go to the other side of his head. The other side of his head is going to just come back in like this. And come around as close as possible because we don't see that much of this side of the head. As a matter of fact, you don't see it at all. We don't want it to look awkward or weird, so that's it. We're going to stop right there. Satisfied with that? We're sticking with it. We're almost there, guys. Now, for the rest of the drawing, simplicity is key. So we're going to drop this neck in, right? This is what he's wearing. The Ghostbusters fire station outfit. And then this is going to be so quick. The straps for the Proton pack is going to go over like that. And then we're going to keep it simple, guys, I promise. So this is going to loop around like this, and it's going to come straight down into the arm. And as I did with Egon, he has a loop that comes in, simplistic, and come around like that. Because what it's doing is following the curvature of the arm there, the structure. Bring this around like this, and then you will see the back side of that into the protective shoulder pads they had on. I'm sorry, not shoulder pads, elbow pads. And then there's a line that comes in like this, under, and we're gonna bring that around like that. And we're gonna count. We're gonna go 1 for this line, and then bubble that 2, right? See that? And then bubble that finally in 3. Just come around like that. And the same thing with the last drawing. I'm gonna do this with the fire station look. Drop that in, and then this is gonna be his wrist. Of course, we'll do his hand and everything last, or after this portion. Drop that in like that, and you got his arm coming in and up. And this is a foreshortening, if you will, like his arms come down like this, and this is foreshortening. You don't see a lot of his arm extended out because it's coming towards you a little bit. Now, we're going to continue this line that comes in and strap it under so that, of course, the Proton pack is held onto his back. And then we could put a little belt for his waistline. Alright, now for the other side, just drop a strap in over here. See that? Close that off. Just put that, bubble it out a little bit. Okay, so for his hand, we're going to keep this real simple. The animated feature hand looks a little wonky to me, but I want to be true to the animation. So let's just go ahead on. If you notice, I came out from the wrist up. That is how you can measure it, guys. Just put like either a circular shape here, because that's about how big you want his hand to be, okay? Give you kind of guidelines so that the way you don't lose focus of what size his hand should be, and it's real tiny like a baby hand or something. You don't want that. Kind of like in a Deadpool film. So you want to bring this loop around like this, and this is real simple because you don't see his entire hand because it's holding the proton gun. So if you notice, you have the thumb here, index finger here, bring the other hand, other fingers in behind that, and then there you go. Okay. So now we have the beginning of the proton pack, and what I usually like to do, they have these little funky scientific things going on that we don't understand, so let's just get some wiring in here. And then, of course, here we could put a piece of the gun that comes upward. So what I did here, just to explain, a little circle here, 2 lines here. Come up out of that, right? Look at this. 2 lines. Excuse me. Lose my voice here. 2 lines here. And then you have the top portion of the gun. Now I'm going to erase this so you can see what I'm doing. And please excuse me for my froggy voice. I've been drawing for a little while now and getting a little tired. But I'll survive, guys. This is for the show. It's for the channel. Alright. And then come up and notice I'm using lines that match this line so that it looks straight. And then the final line is going to go here. This is where the edge of the gun is. And I like to bring it to a point for consistency. And a little nozzle opening there. Okay. So we have that. Now, finally, we can get some little detailing on the proton pack. Alright, so for the proton pack, I'm going to try and move as quick as possible and not confuse you at the same time. I'm not going to lie, guys. The proton pack could be a little involved, if you will. It's a lot to it. So I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible for those who are learning how to draw. Okay. So we're going to put a rectangular shape here. And then you have another piece that extends out from that, this. And then we have a square here. And this is, I promise you, is going to be the most complicated piece on this drawing. I notice I'm drawing through shapes here, so you can kind of see where it's going, and the best I can do to measure what I'm seeing. Okay, this is a little red button thing that they have. Every one of them have on their proton packs is like this little red light, almost like a fire alarm warning or something. And then they have these stripes that goes here. It's like 3 of them. So we'll go 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. Now that I've sketched that out, we want to have this. It looks like an alarm that comes down on the side of it. And that has like, let's put 3 rings on it. 1, 2, and 3. Somewhere down here. And we're going to come in, bring this down and connect it. This part's going to be sketchy, of course, because we're fleshing the drawing out. And then, of course, this has this discus shape here that goes in. So we'll keep this simple, and the disc goes into the other side. I don't overcomplicate this because, again, this is scientific stuff that's beyond our comprehension. Excuse me, we don't need to know how everything works and how it looks. More how it looks and not how it works. Sorry about that. And you got these 2 circles on the back of the proton pack. And then over here they have another kind of circular form, like a yellow thingy on there. Don't know what it does. It's laughable because it's like we're drawing stuff here and have no clue what it does and how it functions. We're just artists. Let's remember that. And then there's the line that comes over here, wraps around it to hold it in place, I'm assuming. And this little piece that comes out of the back of that extends out. Maybe they connect something to it, I don't know. And then the bottom portion, as you see here, comes off of the bottom. And then I'll just put like a little shape there with a little. Okay. So that's going to do it as far as the structural part of this drawing goes. And I'm going to clean it up, and when we get finished, you can take a look at it. Please leave a comment. Let me know if this tutorial was helpful for you, if you like the Ghostbusters at all, and who's your favorite Ghostbusters, things of that nature. Excuse me, not nation, things of that nature, excuse me. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. Until next time, take care.